Hey, Mikey here for rating songs on the Beach Boys albums. For this episode, I'm rating the songs for the Beach Boys concert album. I thought about skipping this album because it has no new Beach Boys songs. But as I learned about the album, I found out it went to #1 in Billboard. Well, that says a lot, especially if you've just heard the album all summer long. The All Summer Long album, to me, is the start of a new direction for the Beach Boys, and in my humble opinion, the start of their best era. The concert album is more about the pre-All Summer Long Beach Boys, and this concert album sounds out of place in that context. But if you're a fan of the first few Beach Boys albums, which I am, then this is a great album for you. With no new Beach Boys songs to rate, I guess I'll go with overall entertainment value for rating these songs. But you've got to remember, entertainment value for a room full of teenagers. I doubt I'll make any friends on ranking this album because, to me, the most entertaining songs could be considered the worst songs. So, for the next few minutes, let's take our Beach Boys ears off and give in to the devil that drives popular music. The yin or the yang that kept an incredibly artsy group like the Beach Boys in the forefront of the devil's dance floor. To me, the point of this album is to show what the Beach Boys sounded like live. To give you the feeling of being at a Beach Boys show or to relive being at a Beach Boys show. I know there are some tracks with some studio fixing on this LP, so I'll rate those toward the beginning of my rankings. I don't know for sure what was really live, so this is my opinion based on what I've read and what folks have told me and what it sounds like. If you're going to listen to a live pop album, the first rule of thumb should probably be don't critique it. If it's a recording of a symphony or a well-known jazz act or some other act with well-established players, maybe, but not an album like this. These guys are not known as great players, but they do know how to entertain and they know how to energize an audience. Like him or not, Mike Love works his room as well as anyone out there. He's not there to impress rabid fans like you and me. He's there to get people who really only know the Beach Boys' big hits, applauding and yes, screaming. This album was, according to Fred Vale, made from 2 nights recorded in Sacramento with, as I said, fixing in the studio afterward. For me, the go-to for 60s live Beach Boys is the video The Lost Concert. It's easy to find on YouTube, so check it out. I know there are a bunch of other good early 60s concerts recorded as well. Well, I found a way to get started rating these songs by rating Little Deuce Coupe as the first one. While I like the idea of doing the intro the way they did it, I always felt sorry for Al, because the girls didn't realize they were supposed to scream again. One of the stage guys must have forgotten to flash the applause sign. Pregnant silence. Then they forgot to tell Denny to end the song. After much thought and even a discussion on our live stream, I flipped a coin and decided the most studio fixing is on I Get Around. Those hand claps make it too obvious, and I always wonder why there's no guitar lead on this song. Fun, 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 in my opinion, also is the most overdubbed. Mainly given away by the ending crash sounding so different than the rest of the song. If you watched the Lost concert, the Beach Boys sounded fine on this song, so who knows why they used the studio track in place of their live performance. And now for what I guess are more actually live songs. Next up, Long Tall Texan. The kids seem to enjoy this one. Don't you love Mike Love trying to sound like a Southerner? Hasn't he tried to do that before? Well, he doesn't offend me, so he shouldn't offend you. Actually, he's not too bad at sounding Southern, but when he plays that sax, I'm sure that was meant as a comical, I hope. No matter how you slice it, this is a strange song to fit into a Beach Boys show. I saw them in the 80s when they did this song. Didn't make sense then either. Let's Go Trippin'. Love the intro, as corny as it seems. Having a little fun with your audience never hurts. Great guitar playing. Do I hear saxophone? Johnny Be Good. You can tell it's live. Hal Blaine would have never let them go that fast. But I bet the crowd was pretty frenzied during the song, so it seems a fitting way to end things on a high note. Good spirit, good fun. Now we drag in the little old lady from Pasadena. The sound changes during the song, so I kind of wonder what's going on. It might be live, but at least for the most part. I don't really know. Maybe it's a splice of the two nights they recorded. Mike sings a different verse that kind of sounds like something he would have written. But I like hearing different versions of classic songs, and that's cool. And it's cool to hear Carl playing lead on it. Hawaii. That intro is tough to pull off, but they do it quite well. No complaints about this song, even though it feels really fast. The Wanderer. One for the ladies, as Mike Love says about Surfer Girl. Well, the girls like Denny, so he gets some upfront spotlight while Brian plays the drums. Even though the vocals sound a little fixed in some places, my question is, does Denny upstage the Hamosaurus? Graduation Day. I can do without the intro, but they sound really good on this one, showing they could probably do anything in their repertoire live. The cutting up they do on this song keeps it from sounding too somber for a young audience. And I think Denny's bit at the end is great. Papa Ooh Mau Mau. Before you hit stop, it's not my favorite song either, but it has high entertainment value for the audience. Mike sure helps sell the song, but the high voice makes it work in a display of the two focal points of the Beach Boys. This is Brian and Mike, both in their prime, while Brian was really in the lineup. I gotta say, Lord knows why they did this song. It's catchy. The Monster Mash. Here we have the devil impersonating Mike Love. Or rather, Mike Love doing a devilish impersonation. That's just for the Brian Wilson fans. Well, this is entertainment, isn't it? And that's important to this audience, good or bad. A lot of fans hate this kind of entertainment, but then most fans never have to face a live audience. I think it's pretty cool that the Beach Boys covered this song at a concert during the Halloween season. I think of it as giving a little extra. And having seen the Beach Boys a lot of times in concert, this song shows that they were always going to keep their shows interesting by playing some unusual songs. Every time I see them live, there is almost always one song I haven't heard them do before. In My Room. Well, I couldn't let the Monster Mash have the top slot now, could I? A great version of a great song. And please don't tell me that it's really a studio version. I don't want to know. I've talked about how great this song is in other videos a lot already. But here it is again in a room full of teenagers screaming their heads off during a night they'll never ever forget. May life almost be that good for us all again. Well, it was a short concert, but that's the way it was. Thanks for listening. Next up, the Christmas album. Please hit like and subscribe. See you next time.